Hello, Black family. Shaquita Graham here, founder of a techcoweb.com and a techco.net. Now, I have spent a lot of time mourning, as so many people have, and my thoughts and prayers and my love goes out to all of the families, all of the Black families who are losing loved ones. So I send my love to those people, and I immediately wanted to do a video to address this issue when everything started just coming out about Alton Sterling and our brother Phil, and then there was a brother hanged here in Georgia, and at the time my comments were so redundant and tired. I really had to just meditate on what really matters in this scenario before I said anything. And I just realized that I need to talk about something that is so important to the Black family right now. And that is winning. Winning on a mental level and on a practical level. And, on a mental level, what I realized is that God himself made a deliberate and divine decision when he made the Black man. He made a finite decision. And although over the last 500 years or so, we've been fighting a war of oppression and destruction, we are here. Melanated people still make up over 90% of this planet and growing. And everything that God has made affirms that we were meant to be here and that we were meant to win this war. The sun is so in love with us. It's like a lion who wags his tail like a little puppy. The sun jumps on our lap and licks our skin. Our DNA and the essence of our genetic makeup are like mighty warriors that will not be denied victory. We, as melanated African Black people, have been here since the beginning. And this war of 500 years is like a cold against the backdrop of our existence. A cold might sit you down for a moment. It might make you tired, but you know that it will not kill you. Our oppressor has tried everything. So when I was mourning over our brothers, Alton and Phil, and so many others that we don't see on camera who have perished over the centuries, a smile came over me because I thought about Harriet Tubman, who looked every so-called law, which means legally allowing white supremacy, every so-called slave master, and she said, kiss my, you know what? I'm not a slave, and I will leave this plantation, and I will bring anybody with me who wants to go. The only thing is you cannot turn back. And that's the bottom line, in my opinion. What do we do? What do we say about ourselves? What actions are we going to take? We know what our oppressor wants to do. We know what our enemy is capable of. We don't have to prove it in a court of law. We don't need some corrupt judge and prosecutor to tell us what our experience is and what's real. It's just like, in the game of chess, the white side moves and then the black side moves. It is the most competitive yet silent game ever. And I played it many times with my father. And you don't cry and pray and act confused when your pawn or your knight is taken. That's just part of the game. But you have to seek a checkmate. You have to strategize and checkmate your opponent. And they are going to do the same thing to you. But on a practical level, we just need to recognize that, just like even the game of basketball, your opponent might get some good shots in. They may slam dunk a couple times, but in the end, what the focus is the end score. And let me tell you, I will bet on the Black man, the African man, with an African mindset any day of the week compared to all the men of this earth. And don't be fooled by the narratives of our enemy that promote all of these lies about who the African man is and what the African family is. Despite the coons that are out there and the Uncle Toms, despite the Negro bed wenches, despite whatever the oppressor tries to do, I believe that the Black man will be victorious, and that And that's why the oppressor, they will never take their foot off the Black man. But God made a decision when he made this world. But anyway, I'm going to move forward. Not to mention that, you know, as the Black woman, we are the secret weapon of the Black man. But anyway, so what do we do? What do we do? We know what to do. We know what to do. Henry Highland Garnett told us what to do. David Walker, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Mr. Neely Fuller, I said Malcolm X, Dr. Claude Anderson. Today, right now, we've got Dr. Boyce, Dr. Umar, Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black. Many, many more have told us what to do. And the bottom line is we need to stay focused on winning. And there will be many, many that look like us. Some people call them coconuts, brown on the outside, white on the inside. And they won't come with us. They won't believe in us. Many of them will be against us along with our oppressor. But, you know, just 5 simple things which really come down to withdrawing from the system of our oppression. We have to, number 1, continue to take our minds back, especially in our youth. We have to educate our own children with the truth about this war and how our enemy operates and who our enemy is. We have to engage in building for the future through business. We have to generate our own revenue, our own economy, our own industries. We have innovated throughout the entire existence of civilization. And that's where technology comes in. That's my area of focus, because I believe that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And technology allows us to do that. At atechcoweb.com and at atechco.net for children, you know, it's all about exploiting the tools of technology to generate revenue, income, new businesses, innovations, and all of that. The other thing we need to do is support other nation builders. We have many scholars out here, many impeccable and amazing Black men who are trying to put together schools. Dr. Boyce has Your Black Education. Dr. Umar is putting together a school. Dr. Claude Anderson has an institute, a think tank. You know, there are so many opportunities out there for us to support building for the future, nation-minded building. And that's on a local level, but also on a global level. I subscribe to a blog called Small Starter. Talks about how to do business in Africa. A lot of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora are in America. We need to talk with them and figure out how to do business in the Caribbean, how to do business in South America, how to do business on the continent of Africa, how to do business in Thailand. You know what I'm saying? We can win. And I'm not going to sit back and just cry and be afraid and be confused. And that's what our enemy wants us to do. When they had Black men hanging from trees, letting them rot, when they had cut off the heads of Black people and put them on sticks around the city, that was to discourage. That's the purpose of that. That's the purpose of killing people on videotape and dragging it out in some fake trial and all of these fake newscasts and stuff that you see in the mainstream. That's all a part of a mental game to get you to feel like you're losing when you're winning. The whole thing is, it's easier to try to get you to give up and to give the battle. You know, and it doesn't take everybody. Don't be discouraged by the other Black people who will defend their oppressor, who will take sides with their oppressor. That happens. But again, this 500 or 600 years we've been going through this is nothing compared to the length of time the Black man and woman has been in existence. And again, there's been a definitive decision made since the beginning of time about who the Black man and the Black woman is. So I urge you to think about that. In this time of mourning, add some extra things to your to-do list. You know, add some extra hours to your study. Add some extra activities or some planning sessions or whatever. Get together in groups and find a way or make one. Don't be confused. Don't be discouraged. We're going to be a little sad. We definitely should be upset, but it should motivate us to win, because that's the bottom line, and that's what's going to happen. So thank you so much for viewing, and I hope this encouraged somebody out there, because I finally got my encouragement back, and believe me, I'm working around the clock, okay? Around the clock. So join me at techcoweb.com. There's free stuff you can get there. You can connect with me there, and also join me at techco.com. That's a techco.net. And that is a place where children will start to learn about the fundamentals of computer science and technology as well. So I love you, Black family, and thank you for viewing.